And when they said 1 minute, please, they definitely meant at least 1 minute. This is Thorn with the Game Design Lexicon. I hope everybody is having a wonderful Friday and that it is leading into what is heading up to be a wonderful weekend. Today, we are going to play some more Commodore 64 games. Why not? I think Fridays for a while is going to be my 6 or 18-bit, or my 8 or 16-bit days. At least until I run out of things that I want to play. And then there's that. So this game is a early roguelike. It was put out probably just a little bit after Rogue was put out. Probably a couple years maybe. And it's actually a little weird. It's kind of real time. Has randomly generated levels. It's really interesting. It's a very interesting. Ooh, going a little bit quicker than I thought it would. Probably gonna end up having to put on some music. Oh, so here we go. There's my little guy, and I can move around. That noise means the monsters are moving, right? So I'll get a few moves. Oh, there's a monster. An Elven Ranger. Hit. Oh, I slain him. And that gives you experience points. And the idea is that you want to explore your levels. And get your gold, get your treasures, kill your monsters, get your experience points. Eventually find a stare down, just like in any rogue style game. And that's it. There's really not a lot else to it. There's a stairs going down. I'm gonna be surprised if I can stretch this out into 3 hours, but let's see how we. I mean, I did it with Telengard, so I should be able to do it with this. Okay. Now you'll find all sorts of stuff. Usually, it's hidden behind the fog of war. There's items, there's gold, there's monsters. The items can consist of things like scrolls, which, to tell you the truth, I'm going to have to pull up the rule book. I don't remember how the hell to use them, but they can also be traps, pits that hurt you, stuff like that. Oh, ugh. Oh, I vanquished an ogre. So that's more XP. I now have 30. So that right there is a special item. Tell you the truth, I'm going to leave it there for now. I'll come back and get it later. It might be a trap. It might be something beneficial. Ooh, there's another one right next to it. How about that? What I am going to do is going to go get this mercenary, right? Oh, Dwarven Guard. This has enough sound to it to where I may not have to break out the lo-fi hip-hop beats. We'll see how that goes. I can imagine that it's going to get annoying after a while. Hobgoblin. Combat's all random, obviously. So you get on top of them, and it does a random series of rolls. And depending on what level you are, what type of... I think you have certain pluses and minuses that it showed at the very beginning. And it also goes through those again as you go down a level. Every time you go down a level, it'll show those again. And how they've been modified through the previous level. Nice. Now you can only carry so much gold, and then you'll find a little temple where you can... Oh. 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 Ow. Well, that took a lot of hit points. Now, hit points will regenerate every time that thing cycles. Every time it... Oh, hey, I found the temple. I was just explaining that. So you can only carry so much gold, and eventually you'll have to sacrifice it to the temple. If you don't, then you don't get experience for it. And eventually you can't pick it up. You can only pick up like, I think, like 100 gold. Right? There's a baddie over there, but I'm reluctant to go for him because I'm a little low on hit points at the moment. Hoping I might get that level, but I can't remember how many you need to level. I think it's like 200, but I could be wrong. Hoi. Yeah, I had a choice of a few games to play. I figured I'd play this one. I think this one, it wasn't necessarily my top choice, but it was one of those that I thought it'd be fun to play it, because it wouldn't take a lot of effort, and it'd be good to just get it out of the way, you know? It's an iconic game, and I played the living shit out of this when I was a kid. Definitely has a place in gaming history. And it's pretty neat. Like, it's all written in Commodore Basic, which is... Oh, nice. I got second level. So it's all written in Commodore Basic, and, like, even the graphics are all... I guess you could consider them Commodore ASCII graphics, but they go in and they actually modify the character set to look different, so they look more like dungeon tiles. Which you saw that transformation as it was loading, how it had the little dollar signs across the thing, and then you'll notice, you know, about halfway through, the dollar signs changed to look like the wall graphic. And that's because halfway through it had loaded up that portion and changed all the ASCII to look like walls. Your character, I think, is a sprite though, and like I said, it's all written in. Oh, god damn it! Nice. It's all written in Commodore Basic. If you were on a Commodore 64 or even on the emulator, you can hit run stop on it, and you can actually list the program and view the basic program, which is really interesting. As a matter of fact, I got my mom hooked to this game, and I showed her a way where she could stop the game, and then you can modify a variable. I believe it's like HP, and you just type in like HP equals HP plus 100, and it would give you 100 extra hit points. So let's go get the temple, now that we've got the whole level mapped out. And we'll go get those special items, and then we'll go down. And there's a reason why I do it like this, too. The special items, while they are helpful, they could be traps, and they can harm me. Like right now, I know I have enough hit points to be able to deal with it. Teleport, not a bad thing. Healing potion, awesome, and those are used automatically, which is really cool. So, like, say if I walk into a pit or something, then and my hit points get really low, then it'll automatic. Oh, some guy just came out of the stairs. A gargoyle. Growl. Jeez. I've slain a gargoyle. So let's hit this staircase here. And let's go down. Ooh, battle skill of 40, right? I got the coffee going. So, I haven't decided if I'm going to do any lo-fi hip-hop. The game that I was playing last week had to have it, because it had almost no noise at all. And listening to my own voice, like I said, I did Telengard, and that one had almost no sound either, and listening to my own voice for like 3 hours straight was a stretch. And the reason why it waits like that is because it's generating the level. That gives you an idea of how old these computers were. It would take it that long to just generate that one level that you just saw. It takes, I don't know, at least almost a minute, right? Gotta love 8-bit systems. And one of the things that I learned in my computer science degree in microchip architecture. Ooh, I hit level 3, nice. Oh, a weak werebear. Is the normally CPUs have what are called registers, which are just little memory locations where it can store numbers, and like the Intel processor that you use in your computer today has a lot of them. I mean, a lot of them. The Commodore 64 only had 3, I believe. Oh, a monk. Ouch. Ouch. Chop. Ouch. Slain. It had 3. It had 2 for memory addressing, which it used to load and save things to memory. So you'd put the address of the memory you wanted to save stuff in. And it needed 2 because it had full 16-bit memory addressing, which was very new at that time. It's what allowed it to have 64K of memory rather than the computer before it, which was the VIC-20, which only had like 2K, right? But with 16-bit memory addressing, it allowed it to address that much more memory. So, but the other register, which normally with most computers that would have been an all-purpose register, you could do anything with it. With the Commodore 64, it was what was called an accumulator. And it was basically made to where you could do accumulation operations with it. And accumulation operations are what it sounds like. You're literally just putting things in it that it adds together. It's really interesting. Oh, see, I now have more gold than I can carry, so I left a little gold sack there. And I'm going to have to go get it once I find the temple. Hiding the gold. I wonder if it says you hide it when you see it. I wonder if it means that creatures can come by and get it if you don't find it and hide it. Because if so, that would kind of suck. Because the gold on a level is finite. Yeah, it was either this or an action game, or there are a couple. Oh, goddammit, I didn't mean to go on that. Ooh, and I got an enchanted weapon. That was lucky. Yeah, some of them were action games, and I didn't really feel up to an action game today. Some of them were other rogue-type games. Another one of them that I really want to play on stream, and I will eventually, is one called Temple of Apshai, or the Temple of Apshai trilogy, which is a very early... I guess you could call it a roguelike, but it's not really because the levels aren't randomly generated. And there's, like when you go into a room, it'll give you oh, nice. It'll give you a number, and you'd use that number to reference the manual to be able to read a description of the room. Which I believe they did it in like the SSI Gold Box games did something similar. But at the time, it was new. They hadn't done anything like that in games up until that point. And they did it out of the fact that, you know, there's not a lot of memory, so... Okay, let me get these gold. Go back around and get these golds, and then I'll get those last 2 mystery squares. So yeah, it was interesting, and the way you move and everything was kind of weird. You know, you'd tell it you want to move forward like 8 steps or whatever, and turn left, and then, you know, or turn around or whatever, you know, attack, whatever, shoot an arrow. Nice. Damn, dude, look at me. I'm just Rambo here. One of the good things, one of the neat things about Temple of Apshai that drew us to it so much... Oh, wait a second. I still got an area I haven't explored. Was the fact that it was one of the first adventure games that we played where you actually made a full, like, D&D style-esque character that had, you know, abilities. You had your standard D&D abilities, strength, dexterity, constitution, charisma, all that kind of stuff. And it was just really neat. You'd start off in, like, a little, I don't know, like an inn, and you'd buy your equipment and all that kind of stuff, and then, you know, dungeon dive until you found a bunch of treasure. You'd come out with the treasure, you'd sell it, and then go back in. And it had, it's called the Temple of Apshai trilogy because I made 3 of them. And even before then, you could play them, you bought them and played them separately, but eventually they combined them all into one. And with your character, you could go to either one of them, and some of them were higher level than the others, so it was really interesting. I really liked that game, and that'll be played eventually. Oh. Ceiling trap, that happens. Oh, teleport, that happens. Okay. Oh, I didn't even see him there. No? Oh, there we go. Battle skills now 74. How about that? See how far I can make it. I haven't played this game in, like, forever, so... Damn it, I forgot to start my timer. I always do that on the first block now. And I just kind of have to remember. Yeah, I know. And I wonder with the upstairs if you can actually go up a level, because if you can, that would really help. Like, oh, you could go back up and exploit getting more XP, getting more gold, all that kind of stuff. Jeez. It's like Jaws. Like you're gonna run into a dungeon shark. Oh, shit. God damn it. That's why I don't like hitting those things initially. I like making sure that I get the creatures first, because anything good that it gives you is really not as good to offset the amount of hit points that it'll end up taking from you if they're traps. Not to mention there's also this really wonderful thing that it'll do. If it's anything that'll damage you, like a pit or that falling trap or that explosion that I just hit, it can take away your map, which really sucks. So if it's going to do that, I always make sure that I get my whole dungeon mapped first. Expand, I would love to, too. As a matter of fact, when I was playing Telengard the other day, it made me want to break out Godot again and start to get my shit together with it, because I can't imagine that I couldn't... I mean, even what little I know about Godot right now, which is quite a bit, I can't imagine that I couldn't just crank out a game like this if I really sat and busted my ass to do it. I mean, it's really simple. It's just, you know, randomly generated levels, a character that moves around, a timer, you know, and monsters that move on the timer, and that's it. I mean, you know, the combats and the items, and I mean, there's not a bunch to it. And Telengard was a little bit easier, too, because all those levels are static. Those weren't randomly generated. Also, welcome to the stream, X-Pen. Hope your day's going well. Hope your Friday is preparing to be a decent weekend. Oh, damn it. Oh, regeneration spell. I need to pull out the manual. I'm pretty sure I have the manual to this sitting somewhere, and I need to look and see how you use those. I know you just hit a key, and it'll use them. Right now, I'm controlling it with a joystick. Oh. I got ambushed by Dwarven Guard. Oh. Wow, he really, knocked my hit points down a bit. Okay. Yeah, and I mean, you know, these were made on 8-bit machines. They can't be too complicated. And like I said, this one in particular was made on Commodore, in Commodore Basic, so even more so. Commodore Basic was very cumbersome and very limiting compared to just making it in straight machine language. Commodore 64, I mean, pretty much most of the games that you play that were worth a shit were done in, you know, assembly. But then again, the difference between making a game in assembly on a Commodore 64 and making a game in assembly today is starkly different, as the processor and the resources in the computer were vastly different, vastly lesser, I guess you could say. Oh, gotta get that temple. There we go. I guess I'm not doing that bad. Definitely kicking all these monsters' asses. Yeah, I really do need to sit down with Godot and just go through as many tutorials as I can while I noodle with it. And that's the big thing, is just one of the ways that my ADHD sabotages me is it makes it really hard for me to have like a coherent plan to make these types of things. And it's really easy for me to get overwhelmed by detail, you know? Like, I want to make my own character system, so I start to come up with some of the ideas towards the character system, and that leads to, well, how does the skill system tie into the character system, and et cetera, and it just kind of snowballs, and I need to, ooh, that guy beat the hell out of me. No, not going down yet, Bubba. Okay, let's go and get that last thing, and and one of the another reasons why I leave the hidden stuff to the end is because you'll notice like my hit points just fighting the creatures have kind of dwindled. So that'll give me some time to regenerate as I go all the way back to the beginning, assuming I don't encounter more creatures. Oh, I was able to run away. I didn't know you could do that. Nice! That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, and I mean, even the best part about this kind of stuff, and I mean, I guess that's the best thing about a roguelike in and of itself, is you didn't really have to worry about the graphics a bunch, right? I mean, the graphics were just dead simple. So I wonder if I can go back up. I mean, why would they put upstairs if you couldn't? I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it real quick, see if I can go up, see what that does. Because I don't think I've ever done that in this game, or it's such a puzzle to me that I don't know what it does, so let's try it. Oh. Looks like I might need to after this. Damn troll. There we go. Experience level 6, dungeon level 2, yeah. So it took me up a level. Well, that's good. That'll give me time to gather some more stuff. I'm guessing the spells and stuff, you just hit the key. L for light, R for regeneration, stuff like that. It's like somebody just messaged me back who I've been trying to get a hold of for a couple weeks now. Somebody from the vocational rehab place. Guess we'll see how that goes. I thought they were just ignoring me. I finally got to talk to somebody who works for an autism advocacy agency, and they told me something that oh, God damn it. Oh, that's not bad. Something that I really didn't want to hear, and that is, so when I was living in Utah, to get my, like, Medicaid, I didn't really have to do anything. I mean, granted, it happened during the pandemic, so I'm sure it was a lot easier for the people who were taking care of me to do, but it was all done by the I guess the general practitioner that I was going to at the time, because he's the one that signed me up for it and everything. They're the ones that pretty much got me all of that. And they were able to refer me to like the vocational rehabilitation, and they even referred me to a disability advocacy agency. And these guys were like, I mean, even though I didn't really get anything from the vocational rehabilitation facility, those guys were a little bit, they didn't really do all that well for me. But everywhere else I went to, I mean, everybody was like on the ball. They all wanted to do something for me. You know, it's like, it was very exciting to know that, you know, I had people that were going to try and help me out. Ever since I've been here in Texas, though, that feeling has not been the case, and the autism advocacy agency that I just recently communicated with was like, yeah, apparently all the social programs here in Texas are extremely underfunded and just hard to deal with. That they encourage me anytime I have an issue with it to, there's like a special place that you can complain to. So they said that's a good way to get it done. Like, I did contact a disability advocacy agency here in Texas, and they didn't do anything. I mean, nothing whatsoever. While the one that I was working with in Utah, they were pretty much helping me go through the entire process to get through my Social Security, all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, it would have taken me a while, but eventually I would have had, you know, steady income through my Social Security. It wouldn't have been a lot, but, you know, it would have been enough to not starve. So, jeez. Dwarven Guard. Do. Yeah, maybe after I'm done streaming today, I'll break open some Godot and see if I can't get. Because I know I've made like random map generators in it before and other stuff, and I know how to work with all the interface stuff. I've really busted my ass on learning the interface programming stuff. It's really easy to make like an interface in it, which is really great. Ouch. And it'd probably be easier if I just took a game like this and just tried to remake it in it. That way it'd be a learning experience and I wouldn't have to do any extra design. I'd pretty much have a goal as to where I was going with it. So a lot of the problems that would normally get in my way wouldn't even be there. Which is, a lot of the design philosophy. Which, of course, I've also tried to do that too, but get a little cock-blocked there. I better go hit that temple, actually. I got 82 gold on me. I need to go drop it off. I only got one more place to explore. Even though I think it's almost time for a break. Yeah, I should probably take a break soon. Excuse me. There are gargoyles everywhere here. Oh my god. Elven Ranger? Fine. Okay, what's the pause on this? I can't remember. Is it Alt-P? Oh yeah, that's it. Okay. Okay, and that is a break this Thorn with Game Design Lexicon. We are currently playing Sword of Fargoal for the Commodore 64 from 1983, I want to say. If you do like our content, make sure you give us a follow down below here on Twitch or subscribe over on YouTube. If you want to watch any of our older stuff, we put it up there anywhere between, I don't know, a week to a month after we air it here. Pretty much everything we've streamed live here should be over there. Except for like maybe some niche streams that I didn't want to save. Who knows? Anyway, our music for the day is Catherine Wheel, one of my all-time favorite bands, and the album Wishville.